Hello everyone, welcome to NintenDormant, the podcast where we discuss Nintendo games that have been left on the shelf. Joining me for episode 1, we have from Good Vibes Gaming, he's the man with the golden voice, it's John Cartwright. John, hello!
Hi, how are you?
See, John, now I knew if I said that, you would instantly do a very sensual, deep voice.
Hi everybody. I'm here to talk about some dormant Nintendo IP.
Oh god, I think I've literally got goosebumps. How are the vibes at Good Vibes Gaming, John? Good?
They're pretty good. They're usually pretty good. And today, they are spectacularly good.
That's very succinct, thank you. Joining John, we have a former colleague of his and a Nintendo lifer. He's a very lovely person. It's Alex Olney, everybody. Alex, hello.
It's the man with the loud voice.
Jesus Christ.
Classic Olney.
I was going to go with silver voice, but then I thought I can be more disruptive even than that.
I said you were lovely, and then you assaulted my ears straight away. How are the vibes at Nintendo Life, Alex? Are they good?
We've never been asked that question, but I'm certain that they are up there, shall we say? Positive vibes, good vibes only. What's the thing that people used to write on their walls in the? Oh, I think they still do it.
You can replace your little light with that. Just good vibes only.
Yeah. Good vibes, just the
and I
Good
live,
Vibes
laugh,
gaming logo.
whether the other
throw
one is.
people off. Yeah.
I don't want to stir anything up, but before you jumped on the call, John said something about when he left, the guy who talks about waffles is an absolute monster. So you might want to look into that.
Oh yeah, we got rid of him. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
Pretty toxic. Yeah. Thank you both so much for joining us. I'm a big fan of both channels. How have you been, Alex? I don't know if it's recent, but you went to Japan. Was that a recent thing?
Oh, that was very recent. Yes, that was for me honeymoon. Yes, 3 lovely weeks in Japan. It was absolutely to die for.
3 weeks?
Yeah, well, never sure when we're going to be able to go back, so we wanted to make sure, let's do it proper, let's really do it. And, it was fantastic. We did a huge stretch. I won't bore you with the details, but we did the Nintendo Museum as well.
I'm so jealous. Did you get the big Wiimote cushion?
I couldn't fit it in the suitcase, but I've got to be honest, I've done a video about it, but the Nintendo Museum, it's a very big missed opportunity, I feel.
Oh.
It's not as great as it could be by any stretch. They could do so much more, and I think that they were scrabbling around for ideas, to be honest. Because, if you watch the Direct before I went, the Direct, obviously I didn't know it at the time, but you watch that back, and the shelves are missing loads of games from different regions. So I suspect it was only Japanese region boxes. People went in and went, as in before it was open, but, they trialed it, and people went in and went, you've got, it looks like very few games, because it's just the Japanese boxes, and then they went, oh my God, because they didn't have all the boxes there. For different regions. They didn't have Golden Sun for Europe.
How weird.
That's upset. It's Golden Sun's here somewhere. It's behind me somewhere.
It's not hard to get a
We all have Nintendo museums ourselves. There's some people walk in and go, oh my God, they have Mario? Whereas we're just like, yeah, got it.
Yeah, we went on honeymoon to Japan too, actually, and we genuinely bought so much stuff that on our last day in Tokyo, I had to get up at 5 a.m. and run to the first shop that was open to buy an extra suitcase to take on the plane. And it was so early that there were people asleep outside the station. Somebody just fell asleep on me on the train. And I sort of was very gently saying, "Sumimasen," because I didn't know what to do. just trying to sort of cajole him awake. And
I think the general practice is you just let them. I think it's.
Oh no, I let him.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not an expert or anything. I've been there for 3 weeks total, but it's like someone nearly fell asleep on Sasha several times on the train, and you just sort of you just have to sit there and take it, I think.
Oh yeah, no, I let. I mean, I didn't stroke his hair and whisper stories. Maybe I should have. Maybe that's the custom. But I did. I let him sleep.
Oh,
it's just
senpai.
I knew the stop was coming up. Yeah. I'm glad I thought it might be a bit of a busman's holiday to sort of do nerdy Nintendo stuff, but we did so many Pokemon centers. Yeah. You have to. Have you ever been to Japan, John?
I haven't. Never. I really want to. I had the opportunity to last year, but because the kids are still young, I can't say to them, feed yourselves. Put yourselves to bed. Yeah.
I mean, they're not that young, surely. I mean, some of them must be at least months old by now.
Exactly.
Fend for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all true. Yeah, they can do it. They pretend they can't. That's the thing with kids. Like, oh, I can't ride a bike. You've got to teach me.
Oh, yeah.
You know how to. You just
I can't
Get
speak
on it.
English. Oh.
Lazy. Lazy.
Adults do that. Adults can teach themselves English. Kids can too.
Yeah, easy.
Well, what games are you? So
Oh,
you are playing games with your little ones now. Is that right?
She requested the monkey game this morning, which was Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. There's a character called Mimi, and she's called Amelia, and her nickname is Mimi.
Ah.
So she thinks that's her. She thinks she's embodied as a monkey.
She's
and
losing
she loves that
her
game.
mind.
John, be honest. Did you name her Amelia because of Mimi from Monkey Ball?
It wasn't like not the reason. I did get I got a Mimi plush before she was born, so like it was always in there somewhat.
Yeah.
But she loves watching Monkey Ball speedruns. This 4-year-old girl, like it will be down at 6 a.m, and she'll just go put the monkeys on, and we just see these balls just rushing towards a goal at lightning speed.
That's
You should,
incredible.
one day you should just put on like a David Attenborough documentary and watch it go, these aren't monkeys.
Where's the
These aren't the monkeys I know.
Where's the checkerboard floor, Dad? This is nonsense.
I have beef with Monkey Ball, actually, because I'm fairly certain they're apes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Gon Gon's a gorilla for
Definitely.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Gon Gon's a gorilla, you know.
Yeah.
Super Monkey Ball, and he's there as the token ape. It's, you know.
Maybe in the
just-
next game, Attenborough should pop up and say, "Well, actually, if we have a little look here," and then you
I
get
think
like,
Attenborough's got other priorities to be
What? Was that your Attenborough impression? Wow.
"Well,
Wow.
actually,
well, hello, actually, I think you'll find.
we're not all voice actors, John. All right, I'm doing my best." My daughter's playing Princess Peach Showtime and Echoes of Wisdom, and it's very hard to explain to people why she's walking down the street just going echo, echo, echo at everything. It's like, no, it's normal. Don't worry, it's fine. It's fine. Are you playing anything at the moment, Alex? What are you up to?
No, I don't have kids. No. At the moment, I was thinking, am I playing any games at the moment? Because, you know, the evening happens. It's like I've got two modes, work mode and evening mode, and they never shall intertwine. But at the moment, I'm playing a lot of Stardew Valley. The 1.6 update came out, and my wife Sasha was just like, oh, yeah, I thought I'll give it another go. And, like, immediately sucked in. And I thought, well, I'll give it a go. Immediately sucked in. So I think I've been doing it for a week and a half now, and I've put probably 40, 50 hours into it in that time, because it's basically evening, eat, Stardew, bed. Feeding cats in the middle.
I haven't dared touch it. Because I mean, Animal Crossing I spent about 400 hours on, something absurd. And Stardew Valley, I know, like, if the second I start playing it, my kids will just have to raise themselves, basically, because I'll be gone. It's just not going to happen.
Pull themselves up by their bootstraps, yeah.
Yeah, it's the best thing for them. Well, we're all here because we like to talk about games, and so I think we're going to play a little game right now.
Oh.
So it's time for the NintenDormant quiz. We have 2 rounds. Round 1 is fastest finger first, and round 2 is play or pass for double points. You can play along at home and let us know how you did. We have buzzers as well for both of you. Now, I must say, people, while we're doing the recording, people won't be able to hear the buzzers. So if you have special buzzer requests, I can put them in.
Could I have a villager noise from Dosh and the Giant, please?
How obscure is that going to be for me to find?
Yes.
Probably quite obscure.
Are there sound libraries for Dosh and the Giant?
There must be somewhere.
There's some somewhere.
I think I just assume I've got a vinyl down there. There's probably something on
That's true.
there for it.
I'll tell you what, I promise you, if I can't find it, I will make it. Or if you make it now...
If you can't find it, use a short section from one of the songs. So like, there's a bit that goes, it's on a theremin. It goes like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That'll do.
Yeah, you'll know the one.
That's the
You'll
buzzer.
know the one, yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry to tell you, now you've done that, if I can't find it, that's your buzzer. John, what would you like for your buzzer? Do you have a special request?
In Rayman 1, when he finishes a level, it goes, yeah! Can I have that?
You can have that, or if I can't find it, I can have you saying, yeah, just like that.
Sure.
I thought they might be Mario themed, but Nah. Let's go. Let's just make it as
Dodge and
obscure
Rayman.
as possible. Right. Fingers on buzzers. Round 1. How many official levels are there in Super Mario Brothers 1?
Yay!
Oh, that's John.
Or was that me? 32.
Correct. John takes the first point. Very nice, John. Yes, 8 worlds, 4 levels in each.
That required maths.
It did require maths.
Yeah, I'm
it's
not
pretty
really.
early for
I'm not
maths.
really a maths myself.
I think that's the only maths. That's the only maths. It's fine.
A
Okay.
bit of algebra later.
Yeah. Get out your calculators, please. I don't know. I keep doing this voice. It's just
Attenborough's
after we're teaching some maths. Sin, cos, and tan. I can't remember. I haven't done maths at school for 20
The
years.
different calculator flavors, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Question 2. Super Mario Brothers 2 takes the player to Subcon, but who is the first boss that you encounter in the game? Not mini boss. Alex.
Hang on, not mini boss.
Not mini boss. First boss.
Oh wow!
Ooh,
Now
that's a
you're
good
getting
question.
technical. Mauser.
It's Mouser. There you go. Yes. Fry Guy trying.
Alex
to
buzzed in
Also, fun
pretty
fact,
early.
Name of a gun.
Oh,
What?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a German pistol.
We're
Called
learning something
Mauser.
new.
Is that like an old
It's
pistol? or
probably
a
it's
World War
probably
II
in a
pistol?
James Bond thing or something.
Well, that's
I say that
definitely
like
where they
I'm
named it
massively
from.
into James Bond. I just happen to know it.
Big Bond head over there.
Oh,
Nintendo
yeah.
HQ. Let's name these enemies. Well, there's a German gun called Mouser. Yeah, jot that down. That's kid friendly. That'd be fine. Right. Super Mario Brothers 3. Are you ready for question 3? I should check. Are you ready for question 3?
I think I'm ready.
No.
Well, too bad. Super Mario Brothers 3 is set up like a stage play, and you can go behind the scenery. But what colour block do you need to duck on to go behind it?
Who is
I've already
it?
buzzed.
Which of us?
You've already buzzed?
Yeah.
Oh, I
it's
didn't reset
gone.
the buzzer. Quick, Alex.
Oh no!
Go on, Alex.
White.
It's a white block, of course. And I'll make sure I'm a bit more professional and reset the buzzer this time. Yes, a white block. I don't know how many levels you can do that on. I know there's the one in World 1.
Oh,
And
there's
you
like
run behind the thing.
4 or something.
Maybe. Is that
Was
when you
there
get the
more than that?
whistle? The warp whistle?
Yeah.
Yeah. As a white man, I was ready to say white, but the buzzer was not on my side.
Thought shouting white.
As the
into a
only
microphone
white
is
man
probably not a
here.
good idea. I mean, I'm a Mario 3 enthusiast. As you can see, a little Tanuki Mario on my chest there. Lovely little boy.
Oh, next you're going to be selling us that 3's better than World, which is madness.
No, World's better than 3.
Yeah.
We don't have time for this. Question 4. Right. This is right. Fastest finger first. Are you ready? In Mario 64, who do you meet on the roof of the castle?
Yay!
Oh, it's John.
Oh,
Yoshi.
It's Yoshi.
the dinosaur.
Oh, we're tied 2 for 2. All right, guys. This is going to decide round
could we
1.
get
This
into a
next
discussion
question.
about the pronunciation of Yoshi?
Yoshi.
It's Yoshi, isn't it? If you're English, it's Yoshi.
No.
Do you say Yoshi?
I feel like I
Yoshi,
hear
yeah.
more British people say Yoshi than Yoshi.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think that's because it's before when we didn't know what it was. Everybody used to say Yoshi, but now all the games say Yoshi, right?
Let's find a Nintendo ad from the UK and see what they say.
Or you could just, speak to someone in Japan, considering it's a Japanese name, and go for the closest representative in the English language. Also, British English uses a short O in that instance, whereas North American English would use the long O, because North American English is adverse to shorter sounds as a general rule of thumb.
We've been told by Alex. Now, Alex, that
sounds
was
true.
that was very interesting, but I'm disappointed that you didn't slide some glasses up your nose and use the voice while you said it,
Oh,
as is standard.
Oh, he's got
Don't
props.
tell me you've got. Oh my. Can you just say, actually, it's a short O while you do it, please? That would be...
actually, it's what's considered a short O, an O sound, as opposed to using the diacritic. It's not a diacritic. I've forgotten the term for it, but it's essentially a colon.
You just
But it's not a
corrected
colon,
your
it's not a
correction
colon.
guy.
That's
If you're-
embarrassing.
If you're ever typing in the International Phonetic Alphabet, do not use a colon if you're trying to elongate a sound. It is technically a different symbol.
Is
It's
this
two
still a
triangles.
Mario quiz?
Yeah, I don't use my colon. I type with my fingers. Question 5. Are we ready for this? In Mario Sunshine, what is the collective name for the inhabitants of the island? Oh, that's Alex.
Oh, the
What are they called?
the collective for the inhabitants of the island.
Yeah, what are they
There's
called?
various different peoples.
Yeah, but the main peoples.
Oh, Piantas.
Piantas, of course. There we go.
I was going to
Alex
say,
takes
I was
round
going to say,
one.
oh, is it like Delphinians or something? Because there's also.
Alex takes round 1. Well done, Alex.
Well done, well done.
And that means as we head into round 2, which is double points, play or pass, you get to start, Alex. So, It's 2 points if you get the answer correct. If you don't know the answer and you think the other player doesn't, you can pass it to them. And if they get it wrong, you get 1 tasty point anyway. So it's all good. Alex, you ready with question 1?
I've never been readier.
I don't doubt it. Okay. Lakitu first appears in Super Mario Bros. 1, but in what level does he make his debut? Is it 4-1,
bloody wars.
4-2, or 4-3?
Oh, that's cruel. How was a man supposed to know that feature?
I picked the cruelest ones, but if you don't know it and you think John doesn't know it, you can pass it to John.
I think
John's looking smug.
There is a system in Mario 1, so I'm going to say it's 4-3 because 4-2 is usually like a platform-based level as opposed to having flat ground.
Alex, that's
have
wrong,
I got
I'm
that the wrong
afraid.
way round?
It's wrong. It's wrong.
John gets
the point.
The answer.
Do you know it, John? You get the point anyway, but do you know it?
It's 4-1.
It is 4-1. Do you know how I know that?
4-1.
Because you go straight from the warp zone.
You go straight from the warp pipes, and then you go, "What the hell is in the sky throwing stuff at me?" Yes. Yeah. It's 4-1, I'm afraid. Oh, he's drawn it level. It's 3-3. All right, John.
Ooh.
Play or pass, your question.
You said it was 4-1, now it's 3-3. Which one is it, George?
Well, okay,
Numbers
all
aren't
right.
real.
Actually, I'm not doing that anymore. Right. Okay. During the bonus chance for Super Mario Bros. 2, there are 5 possible symbols you can get on the roulette wheel. So there is the cherry, the sniffit, the starman, and the 7, if you're playing it on All Stars. What is the other icon? Is it mushroom, flower, or star?
Which ones have you said already?
So I've said cherry,
cherry,
sniff it. I don't know why I did that when I said sniff it. I pointed to my nose if you're just listening. But just to make it clear, it's not a shy guy. Cherry, sniff it, turnip, or 7. And then there's one more you can get.
I want to say mushroom, but I really have no idea.
It's not mushroom.
Oh.
Alex gets the point. Alex, do you know what it is? Do you remember?
Well, I'm guessing star because you said star in the initial list and then you changed it to turnip.
Excellent. So...
I should have picked up on that.
You said turnip the second time, and I was like, turnip wasn't an option before.
Hang about. My quizzing skills. I didn't reset the buzzer. Said the answer. This is going swimmingly. This is why this is
it's
episode
going well
1.
in my favour.
All right, 4-3. Alex, your question. Oh god, this isn't multiple choice now. This is just.
I thought 4-3 wasn't correct. I thought it was.
For God's sake. Right, Alex. Question 3. This isn't multiple choice. This is if you know it or not. So,
okay.
In Mario Sunshine, Mario has his backpack, and it's called Flood. What does Flood stand for? It's an acronym. What does it stand for?
Flash liquidating ultra dowsing device. Flash liquid ultra dowsing device.
My God.
Flash liquidating ultra.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
It's wrong. It's not liquidating. I'm being very pedantic.
I changed it to liquid.
It's not liquid. It's a flash liquidizer ultra dowsing device. I know. It makes no sense. What's a liquidizer? What is a liquidizer?
A liquidizer is a blender.
Well, that's what it is. Maybe EGAD popped one in the top, just and you can actually have some delicious...
That highly suggests that you're putting in something solid to turn it into water. Maybe it's the piantas.
Maybe.
That's why there's so few of them on the island. They've all gone into this backpack. This is nightmarish.
They're just dancing around you, cramming them in.
Well, I tell you what, that brings John... It's 4-4 on the scores, I think. I'm doing a really bad job of this. John...
That's castle level, isn't it?
Oh, for God's sake. I might cry.
I think the bit's done. I'll stop now.
John, last question. So you can win the quiz with this question.
Oh.
Super Mario Bros. 3 introduced us to the Koopalings. Can you name all 7? How many times have you seen these guys? Okay.
I've seen them so many times, but I'm going to forget one of them.
Come on.
There's Lemmy. Morton. What's the one with the bow? Wendy.
I nearly said it out.
Ludwig. Who am I forgetting? Oh no. I cannot remember who the other one is.
Oh, there's 3 more. There's 3.
Yes.
What?
There's 3 more.
I'm gonna pass this to Alex. I am brain dead on this question.
Do you remember the others,
Hey,
Alex?
I get the point.
You get the point anyway, but
I know one of them. Iggy.
Go on then. Iggy.
Named after
yeah.
Iggy Pop.
Of
They're
course,
all named
Iggy.
after
Yeah, how could I forget Iggy?
musicians, I think.
Yes, they are. And glasses? That's a little clue. I think this one's glasses.
oh,
Yeah,
glasses.
Morton's the star, right? Morton's the star.
Yeah,
the Kiss, the
Morton's
one
got a
from Kiss.
star. Roy!
Glasses. Roy!
Everyone's favourite.
And then the one that
Let me
sounds
forget
like
Roy.
Lemmy and Larry.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, that doesn't sound like Lemmy.
It does sound. It's a vowel and
I was
a
thinking
double
like Lemmy
consonant.
and Benny or something.
I've got to work on my Koopaling lore.
I know this is. I thought that was a slam dunk, to be honest. I don't
To
know
be
if I can
fair,
name all of them.
if you would sort of say, "Oh, could you name all the Kooplings?" My first thought would be, "Oh yeah," and
yeah,
then came to it, and
absolutely.
I was like,
yeah. There's always one.
what is a Koopling though? We need to decide.
Well, didn't
think
they
it's
say it's
decided
not
here.
his kids, right?
Yeah, but then what are they? Are they just adolescent Koopa things? You know, I mean,
Koopa
what is
things.
Bowser? He's the king of the Koopas. He's not a Koopa himself.
Maybe if a Koopa Trooper lives long enough, i.e., doesn't get stomped, they like morph into them.
Yeah, they're the
Are you
elite
suggesting
tier.
that Koopalings behave like frogs?
Yeah, because if you
Yes.
die, you
They have
become
this-
a
the
dry
standard
bones, much
Koopa
like
is a larval stage.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's the Metroid crossover. It's what inspired Metroid. Haven't you heard this?
that seems correct. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
does
spitting.
seem likely, yeah. Because a Koopa in its shell, very similar shape to, you know,
a
Metroid.
and
Yeah.
Wendio
Yeah.
Cooper, definitely an Alpha Metroid or a Mega. I can't remember. It's been too long.
which one? Which one?
She's an
Do you
Alpha
mean the Queen
Metroid.
Metroid?
Oh, of course she's Queen. Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, all correct. Everything here is
I mean-
completely solid. Yeah.
I mean,
Rock
Alpha
solid.
Metroids are like the first form from their
Metroids-
baby form. Their
I
larval
mean,
form.
we are way off topic here, but
There's Alpha, and then there's Beta.
Beta.
They've got the big pointy bits. Then you got
Yes.
Gamma.
There
which
are
are
some
like
Mario
little
fans
fly-around-
tuning into this, like, when are they going to get to the fireworks factory?
Then you
Beta,
got Amiga Metroids or Omega Metroids,
and then the
you got-
Zeta. Zeta? The Zeta ones?
Oh, maybe there isn't a Beta. Maybe there is only a Zeta.
I've literally got the returns book here, but yes, we're way off topic. Right, Alex, well done. You won the quiz.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. The inaugural NintenDormant quiz. You are the winner. And as the winner, you get to go first for the main event.
Ooh.
Yes, we're all here to talk about Mario Galaxy. A quick history lesson for anybody who doesn't know the game. Mario Galaxy is a course clear style 3D Mario game released in 2007, followed by the sequel, Galaxy 2, in 2010. Developed by Nintendo EAD, it's more linear than its predecessors and unique amongst the 3D games in that it focuses on planetoids with their own centre of gravity. The games introduced several new power-ups, plus Yoshi as a rideable mount in the sequel, plus an orchestral score and vivid visuals, and they are considered some of the finest examples of the platforming 3D genre. So guys, what's your experience with the game? Did you play it when it first came out? Are you I assume you've played both of them.
I've played both of them. I absolutely did not play them when they first came out though, because I didn't have a Wii when it first came out. I fell off as much as anything. I didn't have the money to buy one, because I would have been an age. I can't remember how old now. It came out in, 2007? Or over
Yes,
here it might have been...
2007.
I think was it
Yeah.
2006? Just before?
I
It
think
might have been
2007 because
2006 in
2006
Japan.
was the Wii's launch year.
Yes.
2007
was
Galaxy was the year after.
Oh, okay, right.
I'll tell you
yeah.
why I remember that. It was my first year at uni, and I had on my desk in an envelope saying "Do not open." £120 in cash to get my Wii, and I just played it to death in halls. But anyway, sorry, I interrupted. Go on.
Yeah, no, I didn't have it. I kind of fell off. I was one of those people. I think I was just the wrong age for the Wii. All of a sudden, sort of kiddie things weren't cool anymore. I was a big strong boy. I don't need a Wii, so I got an Xbox 360 instead. Initially, I got a broken one from a friend. He gave it to me for free. Red ring didn't work. I wrapped it in a towel, turned it on for too long. Sort of reflowed the solder in theory, and I got Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts to work like twice, and then I had to buy a proper one.
Also, what a letdown.
Yeah.
I like nuts and bolts. It's not a good banjo game, but it's a good game. I actually quite like it.
I agree. It's a good game, but it's a bad banjo game. Yes, fair enough.
But I did play Mario Galaxy at university several years later. I got a Wii. I travelled to a nearby town and walked a long way from the bus stop in the freezing cold to go and buy it from someone who was selling it on Gumtree. If you're watching, hello. You
What's
have a
their
nice
name?
house.
Do you remember?
I don't know. I barely remember your names. I got that Wii. I got, several different things. And I know what year it was. It was 2012 because they were selling it because they had a Wii U. They just got one. So they were selling their old Wii. And it was in superb nick. And then I ended up selling it again because I needed the money because I was at university. But I did play Mario Galaxy, not only to death, but I played Luigi Galaxy to death as well.
Yep. Very nice. I should point out, by the way, I forgot to mention, it is currently playable on the Switch, but one and not two. We'll get to that because I had big problems with that.
Yeah.
But John, what was your experience with Mario Galaxy?
Well, this will age you, George. You were in uni at the time. I was in secondary school.
No.
And I remember at the end of the day, we were let out of school, and I ran to town. I physically ran on launch day. I was saving up money way beforehand because that was like my Mario Galaxy money set to the side. Literally ran all the way from school to town, didn't stop until I got to game. Picked up Mario Galaxy, then ran home. My mum was like, dinner's ready. I'm like, no, it's Galaxy time. So I didn't eat that day. And I just played that thing up until like midnight.
Incredible.
I think the next day I pretty much finished it with like 60 stars and then found all the stars, then just played it on repeat again and again and again. I loved Galaxy. I love Galaxy 2 as well. Played that at release, but I think Galaxy 1 just holds a smaller, special place in my heart compared to the second one.
Yeah, the difference with you and I is that I also ran to the shop because I'm that much older. I was going, my knees, as I ran. And being careful not to slip in puddles. But yes, great game. Is available, as I said, on Switch, but only one of them. And actually, technically, not available now if you didn't buy it. How do you guys feel about
You
that?
can still find it very easily because they made about
They
17
printed a lot
billion
of physical
them,
copies.
Yeah. I saw one in CEX the other day for £80.
That's definitely a markup, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's so many out there. Like there's millions out there. It's not worth that much.
Yeah. I'm
but
sure you could still find a new copy if you looked hard
Probably,
enough. Probably not that. Like you could probably find it like in an Argos. They've got one.
How do we feel about Galaxy? What do you like? What do you remember? Are there sort of levels that you remember, or power ups that you remember? Is there anything? What's like sort of stuck in your mind from when you played it?
I think a big thing about Galaxy is it's fairly un-Mario-y in its formula, really. Like, you have Goombas in there and Koopas, but for the most part, you're in completely different areas, very different themes. It's a bit more epic. Like it's an orchestral score. You don't have traditional Mario songs in there. I think if you were to take away Mario as a character, you'd probably be left with quite a different IP. Like, there's not really that much tying this to like Mario 64 and Sunshine. It's not a sandbox game. I think it's really its own thing. Like, this could stand as its own series if they were to continue. And I think that's kind of what makes it so interesting. Is it's not like anything that came before. Despite having a little bit of Mario 64 in there, it's still very much, its own sub-series.
I'm so glad you said that because I'm really anticipating people saying, this isn't Dormant, there's 3D Mario games. No. Mario Galaxy is a series in its own right.
Yeah.
I get what you say about the fact that sort of in terms of its style, it's quite different. And certainly in terms of its mechanics, it is quite different to any other Mario game we've seen. If you were to compare it to anything directly, I suppose the closest would maybe be something like 3D World. And I know you don't have the planetoid mechanics, but you've got a start and a finish, and it's the 3D platformer kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I would say that I'm not sure I agree about it not feeling like Mario in its visual style, because you can make exactly the same argument about Sunshine. It's very different, and therefore, by definition, 3D Mario games don't have a set formula. And so, therefore, by not having a set formula, Mario Galaxy falls within the formula.
Oh no, does that render this discussion moot?
No, mechanically it's very different.
Okay.
But I'm just talking about the style. Creating healthy discourse.
Oh, that's fair. I think one thing. So when I was thinking about, and we'll get into how we would bring the game back, but I was one thing I was thinking was, it feels like Nintendo with Mario games recently, the bosses, and this might be unfair, but it feels like the boss fights have kind of dropped off a little bit. They're not quite as interesting as they maybe once were. Particularly Mario Wonder, I think sort of very forgettable boss fights. But and I thought, I don't remember Galaxy having good boss fights, but I am really wrong about that. There are so many good ones that I just couldn't remember. You've got King Caliente, you've got Major Burrows, Bouldergeist, Mega Leg, Dino Piranha. There's a bunch of them. They're really good.
There's some really good ones in there.
Yeah.
There's a few bosses that kind of double as levels as well, like the giant mech one. With
Mega
the
Leg.
legs.
Yeah.
You're climbing that as if it were a platforming level, and it's kind of like Shadow the Colossi, Colossus almost.
Yeah. Alex, I think you were shaking your head about the bosses.
I think the bosses are too simple, personally. I think that they are very much in line with what we still have in the likes of Wonder and I had it in my head for a moment ago, but just the more recent Mario games.
The bunnies in Odyssey and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's they're fine, but it's 3 hits, boom. And certainly I don't know whether it's maybe because I came to it with slightly less of a sort of like slightly less awe, because it was an older game at that point, so I went in a little bit more, I don't want to say neutral, I don't want to say objective or anything like that, be one of those people on the internet, but I went in and I didn't know what the bosses were going to be like. And I went in and Dino Piranha and it's sort of like, oh wow, that's kind of a cool design. Oh, it's dead.
It's gone.
Already.
That is for sure one of the weaker ones. You just whack its tail and that's it.
I do like Mega Leg. Mega Leg's good fun, as you say. It's a little bit Shadow of the Colossus in that sense. But yeah, I've got to be honest, I've not been bowled over by Mario bosses for a long time, and I'd like that to change, but at the same time, I understand that they can't make them... It's got to be broad. You've got to make the bosses beatable by very young people in order to make it accessible. But I do want a little bit more. I want a little bit more bite to the bosses.
I don't disagree. Yeah, I think they're memorable, but yes, the actual fights themselves aren't necessarily challenging. I think where they sort of amp up the challenge now is the sort of unlockable later levels after you finish the main story, right? The one at the end of
green stars and stuff like that.
Yeah. And 3D World has that fantastic one, which is so long, and with all
Champions
the
Road,
yeah, and then or even Mario
that
Wonder.
started here really, like Galaxy 2 with the ultimate challenge at the end.
Yeah.
And even the green stars, that was like a post game thing. And Galaxy 1 kind of started that with like Luigi at the end as like a reward. It used to be like a different picture in the credits or something with sunshine, but now as you play as Luigi or you get a post game, that was a special thing that kind of continued on with 3D Land, 3D World, and Odyssey.
And that whole sort of unlocking Luigi thing was really quite special.
Oh, yeah.
To the point that, and I can't take any credit for this, I've seen it online so many times, but just the idea that eventually when you finally die, you're on your deathbed and suddenly you pass, and then suddenly you see you can now play as Luigi. Just as a concept.
Life has a post-game.
Just imagine a Second Life, everyone's Luigi. Be brilliant.
And the thing is, if this was true, and you would just start seeing Luigi's just popping around town, going, "This is something weird's happening."
Okay.
That might be your buzzer. Yes. So, well, look, we all love the game, obviously, and we've all got fond memories of it. Alex, you won the quiz, so you are now the first new president of Nintendo of the three of us. But we're the board, and we demand that you bring Mario Galaxy back for us, and you make it a success. So tell us, how do you bring it back?
Okay. Well.
What's he fetching?
Oh, he's got props. Oh, he's got the glasses. The glasses are on.
They don't fit over my headphones. Okay. Well, personally, what I think, Mario Galaxy is a pair of games beloved by millions of people over the world. Unique ideas that have been copied time and time again. No one's ever done it justice. We here at Nintendo, should I do it in person? Or should I just...
Do it however you want to do it.
We here at Nintendo have a long and storied history with excellent games and creating excellent games. Super Mario Galaxy is among those. New fans have been able to play this in Super Mario All-Stars, of course. However, we are missing half the picture. But there are certain aspects about Super Mario Galaxy 2 that maybe don't gel with a modern audience, and you can make the same argument with Super Mario Galaxy. New Super Mario Galaxy. Working title. Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2. New levels as well thrown in. A complete and utter overhaul. New graphics. Think Metroid Prime Remastered, so not completely brand new, but everything, you know, new art assets up the wazoo. So it looks super shiny, runs beautifully. We can, you know, sort of iron out a few of the little wrinkles here and there, and we can have a brand new hub world that combines different ideas from the original, the Observatory, and Starship Mario, whatever the hell we called it. You bring those two together and you make it the best of both worlds, because there were some things that were good, some things that were bad in both things, but we can get rid of the bad, bring in all the good. New Super Mario Galaxy coming to Nintendo Switch 2 in 2053.
Lovely bitch, thank you. I do love the idea that the Nintendo president's saying "up the wazoo" during a board meeting.
Classic Japanese phrase.
Classic. Okay, so you're sort of saying you want to all-stars it, merge the two games, and sort of fill it with new content and make it more accessible.
Yes, but also remix some new ideas as well. So there's certain things where you'd expect maybe the Dino Piranha fight. You get there, you smash the egg open, you're expecting Dino Piranha. It's not Dino Piranha, it's Dino Monty Mole or something.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, mix.
So it's almost
playing
like
with
it's like
expectations.
the new galaxy, playing off the whole thing that Rosalina said, where there are so many different galaxies, and this is sort of Super Mario Galaxy in another galaxy. They would call it that as well, wouldn't they?
Oh yeah. Yeah, not Galaxy 3. That's too easy. Who's developing? Does it have to be Nintendo? EA? Is it internal?
We're still in negotiation. No.
He's taken a bit very far.
I think there's a number of different. If it was Nintendo,
Who made Balan
or
Wonderworld?
Nintendo EA,
Look at those guys.
the main chaps, the main Nintendo developer people, but in collaboration with Next Level Games. Think of the way that Mario spins with all that sort of squash and stretch, giving it a new lease of life, not this old sort of typical, you know, get a new art style in there as well. I'm not saying make it like Mario Strikers, because that wouldn't necessarily gel. But Next Level Games do incredible work with their animation. Let them run free with that aspect. Get Nintendo to nail the mechanics down, and then let Next Level Games make it look beautiful.
They do. I mean, Next Level. I love Next Level Games. I've been playing Luigi's Mansion 2. I just picked it up for not very much money, out and about. Better than I remember, and also just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. Like that's the storytelling.
Of course, they did Luigi's Mansion 3 as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if you think Luigi's Mansion 2 HD looks good, go and play Luigi's Mansion 3 and realise what a fool you've been.
All right, steady on. I played it as well. But no, they do, you know, and it's that thing what you're saying about the sort of character that they bring to their games, you know, and it's that definitely that kind of explosive, just sort of fun in Mario Galaxy. I think they would definitely ping that out. Would you still go orchestral? Like remixes of tracks, new music?
Well, he's calling it New Super Mario Galaxy. I think an audience would go in expecting the barbars. Might be disappointed that they're not there.
Hang on, right? Let's. I'm gonna sing the theme tune or the title, the title, and I want you to put in the bars where you think they're gonna work. And this is gonna work an absolute treat. So.
Oh yeah, Discord audio delay is never gonna be a factor.
Nah, it's gonna be fun. Ba 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 ba. Flawless.
Perfect.
Alex, thoughts? What do you think? Nice?
I think...
That was bad.
It was
right.
fun, and that's what counts.
That's what counts. As long as games are fun, they can be bad. As long as they're fun, it's all good.
Balan Wonderworld isn't fun.
Oh god, please don't.
I still don't own a physical Switch version of that game. I don't know if physical version of any other. I know. I'm still waiting. When it gets to £5, I'm like, okay, I think it's worth owning this terrible, terrible video game.
Are we getting barbars?
No, in one level you can have barbars. where it's not
Okay.
expected in one level.
Okay,
And
where
it
it's
only
not
comes in when
expected.
you're like it only comes in 3 minutes into the level and the music suddenly changes.
Like a Boo Mansion level. It just goes bop, bop, in the middle of it.
And the booths just start going,
I know. That would actually be more scary, I think, than in like a little joyful level. I would say let's do
especially-
Waltz
yeah.
of the Boos.
I mean, yeah, Next Level did a good... I think Next Level could have done a better job if they had a bit more freedom with the booze. Like, make the teeth pointier, bit more drool.
What
I
about
think it's what they wanted.
what about power-ups?
Not this.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, but look at that chunky boy. Come on.
Yeah, oh, no, don't get me wrong. I love classic
Yeah.
Boo, but, Next Level could do something more interesting. Power-ups. Make me a
Are you
dream.
adding any new ones, or is it just the classic? What have we got in Galaxy? Galaxy, there's a spring, cloud, rock, bee, rainbow, ice, Boo, and Yoshi and the fruits. What I've got.
I'll
jotted down.
say
Don't think I'm forgetting
there was
anything.
one power up, the red Mario suit that makes you glide around.
Oh,
It's
the flying
really
one.
It's using like one level.
The
and then you get
absolute
it in the
useless
hub.
item. Yeah.
Yeah, that should be more utilized.
Yes.
I think that would be fun, but I do understand why free flying can break a platforming game.
Yeah.
Look at Ukulele, for example. I think there's definitely going to be scope for some new power-ups. And I think there's definitely scope for some returning forgotten power-ups. Like, imagine suddenly getting the frog suit in 3D.
Oh my god.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
That's on my pitch. Because the frog suit is just one of the kings of the fact that it works differently on land and water. It's just
Yeah, it's rubbish on land.
it's rubbish on land, but fun on
Well,
land.
you can jump high. Can you jump higher in the frog suit?
You can
on
jump
land?
higher,
Yeah, I think so.
but
yeah,
it is,
yeah.
you just get instantly go bloop, 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 and it knocks it out. It's rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, imagine if you could just swim properly underwater. Like you've been doing the sort of typical swimming and all that sort of thing. And then very much like Odyssey, when you capture the right enemy, suddenly you're just zipping around. And oh no, the frog suit, but it's not a frog suit. It's a fish suit or something. And then
Okay.
you end up swimming like Zora Link in Majora's Mask.
Oh, behave. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Do you get the boomerangs as well? The little arm boomerangs?
No, there's already Boomerang Mario. You can't discount that.
That's true.
That is true. All right, I'll tell you what. John, any more questions for Alex's pitch? I like this pitch. Any more questions?
It's a good pitch. Yeah, I feel like Next Level are a very diverse studio. They keep bouncing from genre. You got like Punch Out, which is like an arcade fighter. You've got Luigi's Mansion, a exploration game.
Metroid Prime Federation Force.
Can't
Classic.
forget that. They've done shooters. They can do any genre. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good idea. I think they could pull it off. How are you handling story? Story is a very important part of Mario. How are you
Yeah.
just jamming these two very deep narratives together without causing disparity?
It's New Galaxy, isn't it?
That's exactly what they would say too.
Rosalina's just like, this seems oddly familiar. She goes, and shakes her wand.
Guys, Peach got captured. Done.
Yes, no, not Peach, but Goomba.
Goombella?
Are you saying a
Goombella?
Goomba got stolen?
Mario, racked with guilt for all he's done to their kind over the years, sets off on an intergalactic mission.
Or Toadette gets captured,
Mm-hmm.
but Toadette had the super crown on. Don't worry, I'm not going in that direction before you think anything like that.
Bowser
Okay.
thought she was Peach.
There you go.
He thinks
problem.
Bowser thinks it's Peach. Mario thinks it's Peach because he's just going, "Hey, come back!" Like he did in Mario versus Donkey Kong or something. And so he goes off. He goes off into space again because default location. And Peach is actually down there, and she's going, "What's going on?" And you can play through the game once you complete it. You can play through it as Luigi. No, Peach.
That's Peach. Very nice. That is a big twist. That's a big twist.
And the spin spins up and allows you to float for a bit as well.
Whoa.
I get so cross when Peach can't float. She floats. She's got to float, guys.
Yeah.
Oh
She's
yeah,
gotta float.
yeah. She's
All
got a
women
dress on.
can.
Yeah, that's by default. I tried it with bell-bottom jeans. Apparently, it's not a thing with them.
Often I go to
Shame.
the kitchen and just go, love, what are you
Yeah,
what are you doing up there? Not saying my wife lives in the kitchen. Oh man, that sounds misogynistic. Sorry.
She just popped in. She just
popped in. I was making dinner. I was making a cup of tea. Please. Oh God. Okay. All right. John, can you beat it? What's your pitch to bring back Mario Galaxy?
So am I also the president of Nintendo?
You are
Have we
now
switched
the
roles?
president of Nintendo in an alternate
okay.
galaxy.
I'm afraid I have to resign as commission.
It's fine.
Well, as president of Nintendo, we're going to knock this up the wazoo, okay? So,
Corporate speak.
in in the video game Super Mario 3D World, Rosalina was a playable character, and with that came a galaxy move, being the spin, exclusive just to her in that game, which goes to show that Rosalina can embody the moveset of Super Mario Galaxy. And at Nintendo, we don't like to go back in steps. You like to keep moving forward and be innovative. And so to move back to Mario Galaxy 3 would be a step back in the Mario franchise. We can't do that. We have to keep going forward. However, we can bring this back under the reign of a new IP called Super Rosalina Galaxy. And in this, you play as Rosalina. Yeah. And you go around in the usual Galaxy formula, only we can't do that again. We have to innovate. So this time, we are going the Bowser's Fury route. It's not a full-on sandbox, but you can go from level to level within one observatory. You are able to just go to a planetoid. If you see one in the distance, you can go there. You can hop on your space plessy and just swim over or float over to that planetoid, grab the star, and keep going forward as Rosalina. And that is the general gist. We are bringing back the Mario Galaxy mechanics. There's still gravity mechanics. There's still the spin. Levels are still fairly isolated despite being in a big sandbox. However, we are pushing forward. We are doing new things with a new character and a new approach to how you play levels. No barbars.
No barbars. That's a big swing. So Mario's not even there. It's Super Rosalina Galaxy.
Mario's been captured by Goomba.
Wow.
As revenge.
The threat is real.
I just have to get this out of my mind. But when you were talking about jumping from planetoid to planetoid in a sort of semi-open world, my mind just went Meteor Herd from Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Oh, yeah. We'll be a bit better than that, I think. But yeah.
Hey, man. Sonic Adventure 2. I
love Adventure 2. I don't love Meteor Herd.
I like Adventure 2. I don't like Meteor Herd.
Fair. All right, okay.
Music's good, though.
That's a big old change. What about, so can she still access power-ups? Or is it like her own different moveset? How does it work?
So I think a cool part of how Galaxy handled power-ups is they were temporary. Because you can't just have a power-up all the time, unless you're Mario, of course, because you can be there forever. But it's more situational rather than needing it forever. They're like puzzles. So like in Galaxy 1, the Fire Flower, you needed like just 4 torches or for burning a gate or something. But if you had that all the time, then it would kind of defeat the purpose of the puzzle. So yeah, Rosalina still has that sort of mechanic. Power-ups are there temporarily, unless in some instances. But yeah, Ghost Mario is back, B Mario is back, and there's also a brand new one where she turns into a mole.
I
didn't know what I was
about the
to
way
say
you
before
said
I
that.
said
Why
it.
did you say it like that? Do you have a thing for moles?
I just think any animal, please come to mind. So the mole is a replacement to Drill Mario because the drill, while it was a cool mechanic, it was also something you had to carry around. It was a bit slow, a bit cumbersome. But Mole Rosalina, she can dig on with the press of a button. Just press Y, she's digging down. You can move around like Drill Mario can in Wonder, or you can go all the way down the surface to the other side of the planetoid. It embodies both mechanics in one, while also being a mole.
Nice. Okay, all right.
No, we moved on to Sonic Colors.
Oh, the
Drill!
Wisps. The Wisps. I've forgotten about those guys. I never played it. Do you play that on Switch? Did it come to Switch? I feel like it
It came to Switch.
It was all right. Had some errors, but you know.
Yeah. It's good on Wii. Okay, all right. And then a whole new, like, still orchestral, I would assume, but like whole
orchestral.
Whole new suite
in
of
fact,
music.
everything's orchestral. Galaxy 1 had a bit of MIDI in there. So like when you finish a level, it'll go like dun 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 dun, but it's flat MIDI. This time we're getting the trumpets out for that one.
Bring out the trumpets.
I must admit, when you said everything was orchestral, I thought you meant like all the sound effects as well.
Yeah.
As though it was like the entire thing would be essentially onomatopoeic, but with instruments.
I mean, Wonder kind of did that, like sound effects
They did
were
a bit, yeah,
instruments.
True.
Yeah.
The Goombas are just little drums waddling along instead. And you go boom when you land on them. Yeah.
Boom, boom.
What else could you have? You could have the Koopas. What would the Koopas be? Koopas would be little saxophones, little cellos?
I was thinking saxophone, yeah.
Then it must be.
I
Then
don't
it
know
must
if a
be right.
saxophone's too jazzy for a Koopa.
They're quite
You
jazzy.
know,
Like,
save
they've got
the
little-
saxophones for something, bolder. Maybe go with a
Kazoo.
kazoo would work.
Wrong game.
A banjo, maybe.
All right. Okay. Very nice. And is this developed in house? Are you shipping it off to somebody else?
Yeah, by EPD, the Captain Toad team. So I know that's also the big Mario team, but I imagine that different staff work on different games. So every single person that made Captain Toad, they're back for this game.
Love
whether they like it or not.
You're the
We're
president.
pulling them out of retirement.
What are you saying, guys? Yeah. Put down the Zimmer frame. Get in the studio. Come on.
Captain Toad famously being one of the older Nintendo IPs.
One of the 90s, right? 90s. I feel that's the isometric view.
the 1890s, I think, yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. Classic. All right. I mean, Alex, any questions for John?
Several, as it happens.
Okay.
So what distinguishes Rosalina and playing as Rosalina compared to playing as Mario? Mario is obviously all about jumping, quick sort of sharp movements and semi-precision in 3D. Rosalina is obviously depicted very much as a very different kind of character. Floatier, and yes, obviously I know she's been in 3D World, but that was obviously Rosalina in Mario's game. Now Rosalina's in her own game. How is she going to control differently?
She's big, right? She's a big girl. Mario, small boy. It's not like Donald Trump.
She's just
now.
going to be
She's
stomping
a big
guns
girl.
without jumping.
Yeah. So here's the thing. There's going to be some enemies that float above her waist. So she can duck under them. That's a core mechanic here. Because she is tall, she'll have to duck to avoid enemies at times. Whereas Mario, they'll just go straight over him. This time you've got to duck more. That's a core thing.
Core gaming feature. now with 80% more
anti-gravity
ducking.
technology.
You can duck while in the air. That's a big thing too. So the butt stomp is in there, but it's mapped to a different. So ZL makes you duck regardless of you're in the air or not. ZR makes you butt stomp regardless of whether you're in the air or not. You can butt stomp on the ground now.
Very elegant for Rosalina.
Yeah.
Is crouching in the air a worthwhile move?
Yeah. You never know where enemies are going to be in verticality. They could be, sometimes some enemies will be flying around at different heights. You'll find one that's like right up here. And if you jump and duck, you may avoid it, whereas otherwise you'd likely hit it. So ducking in the air is a big thing. And also, we're going kind of Half-Life.
You just walk under it.
We're going Half-Life-y with this too. So in Half-Life 1 specifically, there were some boxes you couldn't get on without jumping and crouching. So Rosalina's got to do the same. Let's say there's a square hole in the wall. You can't get in there unless you crouch while in the air.
Climb through. No,
you can't do that.
no.
Why can't Rosalina crawl?
All right, what about her? So, because now I've just suddenly thought. Obviously, her Smash Brothers move set. She's got a wand. She's like sucking things in with a wand. Is that anything like that in there?
No.
No.
That's Sakurai's domain.
No, yes. So in Galaxy, a big mechanic was pointing and shooting star bits.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard to replicate without the Wii Remote. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to have an auto cursor, similar to what Bowser Jr. was like in Bowser's Fury.
Okay.
You can set this to different levels. It can be a really automatic cursor. It can be something that you sort of move the stick and it gravitates towards. But we are going to use that wand as a star bit shooter. And player 2 can also join in, and they can be the star bit shooter with full control. They can shoot at anything, even enemies that are this far above you that usually you'd have to duck under.
Oh, for God's sake. I'm going to...
Well, thanks
okay.
for clearing that up.
Yeah, good.
What about, obviously, the different power-ups and everything like that? What are these going to look like? Are we going to go down a Princess Peach Showtime idea where, sort of you have to talk to the Theets and they give you something? Are the Theets going to be involved? That's now my question.
We consider those more of a Princess Peach IP. That's more her domain. Rosalina is a different character. So she is not going to have anything like that. However, there are going to be enemies exclusive to Rosalina. We're not just dealing with Bowser's army here, despite a Goomba being kidnapped.
I forgot about that.
I thought Mario had been kidnapped by a Goomba.
Oh, yeah.
Goomba,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right. That's right, yes.
Such a memorable plot.
So, Rosalina's a space girl, and so there are going to be some space enemies here. But going just the usual alien route, we felt that was too obvious. Instead, there's going to be parallel dimensions in play here. There's been a tour in space and time. And the Goomba that was seeking revenge is actually from a parallel universe. These Goombas are green. And so most enemies in this game are green. They may look similar to previous Mario enemies, but you'll see a Koopa, which usually is yellow with a green shell. This time it's green with a yellow shell.
I think John's
there's
gone
so
rogue.
many
I think he's making it
instances
up
of-
as he goes along.
I don't believe that for a second. If you say John's currently making up as he went along, then I made it up as I went along, which is absolutely
Not the case.
No,
not
it's
true.
all thought out. It's all on paper.
Very untrue.
This is sounding. I don't wish to be too broad, but this is beginning to sound a little bit like the Shroob Empire.
Yeah, you think so? Well, maybe some inspiration.
Yeah.
Um,
You're currently on the Super Mario Mario and Luigi Partners in Time wiki.
Well, we like to appeal to the fans. Big Partners in Time crowd out there.
Yeah.
Want to throw them a bone.
yeah.
Is
Princess
Baby
Peach
Rosalina
Showtime.
going to make an appearance?
So we feel that there's a way to bring her more into the lore. So if for those familiar with Mario Galaxy, Baby Rosalina doesn't make a whole lot of sense, really.
Baby
despite her being
Rosalina's
in
just a
spin-offs.
child. Just
Yeah.
an ordinary child.
Yeah. So we are gonna include time travel in one level where she goes back to being a child, and we're going to explain that part of her life a bit more. Yeah, because people loved the storybook in Galaxy 1, so we definitely want to make people sad with this one.
I did actually like the storybook in Galaxy 1.
Yeah,
That's good.
I really liked it. Yeah.
Yes, it's probably one of the
I
best
thought
written things Nintendo's ever done, to be honest.
I honestly thought you were being facetious when you said everyone loves it, but I no, okay.
No, I genuinely do. Yeah, I genuinely do like it.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, goodness me. I can't. There's nothing else I can even think to ask. All I can think is that Rosalind is a big space girl.
That's on the back of the box.
That's her tagline, yeah.
Yeah. Super Rosalina Galaxy. A big space girl.
Step into the shoes of a big space gal.
Oh, good God. All right.
There's also going to be a side mode for Labo VR where you can pretend you're as tall as Rosalina and look down at Mario, just like sense the scale.
Yep.
See how small he is compared to you.
No,
That
it's
feels
literally
like that's
just
got an
Mario in front
audience
of you.
already. But what about an alternate reality where Rosalina is even bigger and she plays like Bayonetta?
Yeah, there you go. So there's a relatively common theme in Mario where sometimes there's levels where enemies are big.
Mm-hmm.
This time, enemies are to scale, but Rosalina's just even bigger. She's so big that the camera isn't even tracking her anymore. You just see like
Just her
below
foot.
her waist. Yeah.
Oh, I see. That's a very...
We're definitely getting a bit
You just
horny
said
with this game, I
below
guess.
her waist.
And we've eschewed all sense of like movement and fluidity to literally just walk. Basically, just
Yeah.
it's a walking simulator. Is what you've pitched.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just a walking simulator, it's also a jumping and crouching simulator.
Yeah.
Well, who could
Although
forget?
when you're really big, you can't actually see where you are when you jump, but you still have to crouch because you don't know what's going to be above you.
Can you taunt like in Smash Bros?
We considered that, but it didn't work well with playtesters. They weren't liking it.
You decided to use some of the buttons for movement.
Yeah.
So,
They
Rosalina
thought that
taunting simulator.
they thought that the crouch was a taunt in its own. Like sometimes you can like stomp on an enemy and just sort of crouch in the air to show them that you've killed them. They thought that it was better when it was tied to the gameplay. They felt.
Oh, this is already in development.
I know this is a green lighting room, but I am working on this in my own time. So please don't make my man hours go to waste.
It's based on the Halo engine.
Right, we're running short on time. I'm gonna throw in a third pitch, and I'm gonna make mine super brief. I don't think I can top this exciting walking simulator and remix, but I'm gonna do my best. So, I said, sorry. So we've said, all right, I think the thing about Galaxy games, the big thing is actually they have good stories, right? Mario's always just Peach is captured, go and rescue it. Alex is pulling like for Mario games, they have good stories. They have, you know.
I mean, if you use that as a bar, then that's so low you can't even trip over it.
But the reason I mention this is because I want the sort of story to become the focus of the game. So sort of moving it away from the sort of Mario 3D thing of just going to rescue Peach and making a story. Now, I know that this is going to cause issues, but I think that it should be like a big celebration of Mario's history. And the way you do that is the story is Bowser has sort of figured out that there's other galaxies and other universes, and he's teaming up with other Bowsers to beat the Marios there. So it is a multiverse. Hear me out. All right, just hear me out just for a second before anything happens. And Rosalina gets Mario and says, right, you've got to go to these universes and you've got to stop Bowser in these universes, and then it comes together. And with that, you go into a universe and the art style changes. So you're in like the Super Mario Brothers 3 universe, and you're in that classic like I wish I could remember who did the artwork, but you know, the big white, blue, black circles for the eyes, and like that's how you look like. You go to the arcade universe and he's that weird rubber hose, big moustache Mario.
Can we get a Hotel Mario universe?
Absolutely, we can have a Hotel Mario universe. Mario 2, where he jumps on people. His dungarees are the wrong colour. And you've got all the power-ups from the Galaxy games, but they all kind of like fit into their universes. So, you know, the Boo one is in the Mario 3 one, because that's where the Boo was first appeared. You've got a Sniffit mask in 2. And then it all ends with like a Mario 128 style thing where all the Marios descend on this ball and you've got to beat all the Bowsers using all these mad power-ups. So it's power-up heavy. Like every old power-up you can think of is in this game. And as you unlock them, you also get like rifts in the galaxies where there's like a flying level that appears, and you know, you're Raccoon Mario for the start of it, but then you go through a rift and you turn into Cape Mario, and you have to suddenly go from like flittering along to swooshing under something, and then you've got the new Super Mario Brothers helicopter helmet, and you have to like whoosh up to get something. So you've got this kind of melding of all the old power-ups and stuff all brought into this game, and like celebrating old Mario. And the people I want to develop it, hear me out here, Platonic, hear me out, right? So, you mentioned ukulele and the flying. Yeah, that wasn't great. But the thing that team...
I want to make it clear, just very quickly, I do think Platonic make good games. It's just,
Platonic are fantastic.
I think ukulele didn't quite hit the mark for me. But the sequel,
Impossible Lair
was superb.
Fantastic game. And the thing that team, obviously that team used to be Rare, the thing that made their name was taking sort of... Obviously, they created genres as well, arguably, but they would take existing genres and make even better games in those genres. So I think because Galaxy exists as its own like 3D planetoid center of gravity thing, I think you say to them, hey, take this concept and make it, just go nuts with it. And you know, Banjo-Kazooie with his transformations, you go, well, they can do power-ups and they can do those mad ideas. I think they do very good boss fights, which I would like to see. So for me, it's kind of taking them and saying, don't do too many collectibles, please, but go nuts on everything else.
Will they go nuts on eyes? Because they love their eyes.
Oh, they love eyes. I didn't think about eyes. Would I ban googly eyes?
You can't really, because they'd already done it with Cappy, so...
That's true.
That's true.
Doors open, boy!
We've got... yeah. Stick him on anything you fancy. They can do eyes. This is the thing. I think I would say make Galaxy it's properly its own series. Make it distinct from... I want Nintendo to work on the next big open world 3D Mario game. You guys do that. Let somebody else handle, you know, Galaxy and make it its own. Like in the way that the Mario and Luigi series has its own aesthetic and its own charm and appeal, the same way the Paper Mario one does it, and that's different. Make it its own thing and kind of celebrate it being its own thing. You know what I mean?
So you want to create a Mario Galaxy game that celebrates all of the history and include as many different elements from the past. Ideally, bring every element from previous Mario games and include it in some small way?
Yes, I think so. So
Super Mario Galaxy Ultimate.
That's definitely what I wrote down for a name. I didn't just write down
Mr.
3.
Nintendo President, are you scared about the budget for this game? Are you scared that it sounds very ambitious?
We got Switch money, mate. We're fine. Don't worry about it. We got Switch money up the wazoo. We got no issues with that. Don't worry about it.
Well, he certainly talks like a president.
Yes.
Greenlit. No, so that's I can't think.
Could you play as any other characters?
Oh, that's a good question.
Could you play as a Goomba? Because Odyssey's a thing.
This is the thing. I love Odyssey, and I obviously Odyssey kind of have Cappy in lieu of power ups, right? They get you there. That is in effect the power ups. You chuck the cap on something and you become that thing. I kind of like that being Odyssey's thing, but then the Boo mushroom turns into a Boo, so why can't there be a Goomba mushroom? In fact, isn't that a thing in Wonder? The Goomba thing?
Yeah, there is a Wonder effect that turns you into a Goomba.
It's a mushroom. It's a Wonder Flower effect. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So I think you can have things like that, but I think I wouldn't want to have too many like new power ups. I'd want to celebrate old power ups and kind of work those in. I think. I mean, 1 or 2 new ones, sure. And I'm not just looking around a room for inspiration, but maybe
Praying Mantis Mario.
Yes, or a printer. Mario turns into a printer for some reason.
There you go. Mario teaches typing reference, I think.
There we go. Again, exactly what I've written down here, and not something plucked out of thin air. So thanks, John. That was you read my mind.
Typewriter Mario.
Yep. Cup of tea.
Advance Mario.
Cup of tea Mario. Broken Ice Climbers Amiibo Mario. I don't know.
Aged Nintendo DS Fat Mario.
I've got one of those.
That's my favourite Mario.
Yeah.
One thing they've got to make sure is you've got to make sure the bumpers have become sticky on the wrong side, so they stick to the bottom instead of the top.
And you can feel the stick with the new 4K Rumble from Switch 2, which lets you feel how sticky things are.
Yes. 100%.
I'm not sure I want to feel how sticky things are.
Particularly in your pitch, John, because we know how filthy that's gotten.
Oh, yeah.
It's just become a fan game that would get banned from Steam.
Right. So, any questions for me about my pitch?
I mean, it sounds all well and good, Mr. President. I just feel like this is going to take up a lot of resources to develop.
I think it will, and I think I've played it safer than you guys. I think you've got maybe more ambitious titles than mine.
I mean, I think I made mine up on the spot, and John may have done a similar idea.
Yeah, I had no words were planned. They just sort of came along. It was like
I just thought, I'll think of something on the night.
I did hours of research and played the game. Okay, well,
John was just staring at his viewing history.
It's big space girl.
Ting. Yeah, I don't know why I did a typewriter.
Which is surprising because I did the same thing. I just really like watching Mario Galaxy playthroughs.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, look, if there's no more questions, then I think that's it. So there are 3 pitches. Let us know which one you like best. Do you like Alex's kind of all-stars mishmash of Galaxy 1 and 2 with some remixes of existing levels? Do you like John's... Do you like John's Super Rosalina Galaxy, which does have core Galaxy elements, but also features 90% more moles and ducking? Or do you like Power Up Heavy, classic Galaxy gameplay, developed by Playtonic? Or do you have a better idea yourself? You can leave us a comment and let us know, or you can follow us over on Bluesky. I'll pop links in the description. If you are watching on YouTube, please do click like and subscribe. It will help us grow. And if you're listening on a podcast, please rate and leave a nice comment. John, thank you so much for being with us.
No problem. I regret focusing on ducking so much, but this was really fun though.
Live your truth. And hey, maybe you'll come back for the duck hunt episode and we can have a whole other duck conversation.
There you go.
Alex, thank you very much for being with us too.
Thank you so much for having me. I regret not asking more about ducking.
Oh, hey, we've got time. We'll be fine. And thank you all for listening. From all of us for now, that's game over. Bye-bye.